Hey guys, it is Emery out here in the barn with you, and today I'm going to be showing you what a day in my life sort of looks like, and all of the things that I try to get accomplished in a basic workday or throughout the week. My title would be content creator, probably. And that really just means that I'm the person in charge of making sure all of our content gets captured. So through video, through photos, I'm the person who's going to capture all of that and then get it and direct it, edit it, and send it where it needs to go, whether that is via email to a lot of different people, whether that is uploading it to our drive, uploading it directly to the website, working on making sure it gets to the people that it needs to get to. So Monday morning starts, I'd like to say, so my official start time I would say is 7:30, but I am not the best at being, I don't want to say consistently on time, because I'm typically on time for when I plan on being here. I just don't always plan on being here at 7:30, and that's a lot because I don't typically need to be. My job is very flexible, so I can kind of rearrange my hours pretty much as need be for other special projects. Or for instance, last night I was here pretty late working on making sure that I got photos uploaded to the website, and so I didn't show up at 7:30 this morning. I came in at 9 this morning. So my hours are pretty flexible, which is pretty convenient for me. It allows me a lot of flexibility and gives me opportunities to work more efficiently, in my opinion. So those are kind of my hours, but I'll typically get here on Monday, and probably the first thing I'll do on Monday is make sure that I got everything updated from the weekend. So a lot of our posts for social media and things are going to be, a lot of them don't happen over the weekends, but if they do, Indigo's the one who I work closely with, and she's the one who makes sure that all of those happen. So I'm going to make sure that all of those went live properly, and that everything happened smoothly over the weekend. Once I've done that, I will kind of plan out the week. So I will probably first check in on our social media posts. So I'll make sure that we have all of our photos for that week taken, or and hopefully already edited and uploaded. But if not, then I will begin getting those either taken if they weren't, edited, and then uploaded. We use Canva typically for we use Canva for a lot of different things, but that's where we put all of our photos as we wait for them to be ready to go to our social media. So I'll use Canva to upload them, crop them occasionally, and then put them into folders there where Indigo will be able to download them on any computer, and that's kind of how we help transfer it to different computers without having to use hard drives or upload them to multiple different areas. So once I've done that for the day, I will move on to YouTube probably, and start working with our video content. So make sure that we have at least some video, and then probably head out and take some video. I try to get video pretty much on a daily basis, and whether that's interviewing one of the Jonases, whether that is capturing footage of the goats. Right now we have lots of little Nigerian dwarf goats, and so I'm trying to get a lot of footage of that. From there, I will move on to videos for vertical videos for Instagram or TikTok, stories, different things like that, and again get all of this content to Indigo typically, and then I move on to special projects or website work on a And that's typically, like I said, all of this is typically on a Monday. And once I've moved into website work, I will go to our monday.com boards, which is one of our key ways of communicating with each other. And I will check what I have on that to do, and that's how people kind of tell me what photos they need. So if somebody needs a photo of, I don't know, Purity Scrub, which is a limited edition that we occasionally do, and we don't have a photo of it, they'll put it on there, I'll be able to get it. They put down their crop size that they need, the editing style they'd like, the overall image size they're going to need, what kind of layout they want, and all of the little details that I'll need, so I can take it for them, and then it automatically says who put it in there, and then they can ask me what they want done with it, whether that they want it emailed to them, uploaded to the website. If so, there's places where they can tell me where it needs to be uploaded to the website. So lots of different information there. Check that board and start accomplishing those missions. So that is kind of what I do on a Monday. Tuesdays are going to look pretty similar, except that I won't have to deal with catching up over the weekend. So I just jump kind of right into our social media. Typically Tuesday I don't work too much on the social media because I managed to accomplish that on Monday. So Tuesday tends to be a heavier video day because on Wednesdays we do premieres. And so I need to make sure that I have all of the videos that I need for that, and that I can piece them together, get them edited, and then upload them to our drive where Indigo can access them and can get it posted. So Tuesday tends to be a little bit heavier on the video side of things. Wednesday, kind of middle ground, a lot of just making sure that nothing fell through the cracks, and kind of replanning the rest of the week. By Wednesday, I typically know what I have left for the week. I have a much better grasp of what work is left to be done, and what work has been added by Wednesday typically. Wednesday is also the day we typically do any large photo shoots. So tomorrow, Wednesday, I will be working on a business photo shoot. We'll be putting together different marketing shots, and then we'll also be getting the entire family together for some group shots that will be rather interesting. And we try to do those at least on a monthly basis, and I orchestrate those along with Indigo and Brett, who are also going to be using those photos, whether that is for posting or for the website in Brett's case. So that is typically what Wednesdays look like. Thursdays, pretty basic day, just kind of catching up. A lot of times I'll fall behind on Wednesday because of large photo shoots, and so Thursday is making sure that everything I didn't get done Wednesday gets caught up on. I'll also really take a relook on Thursdays at social media, marketing photos, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok, and I think those are the only ones we post to. But making sure that all of that gets updated, and make sure that we have all of the photos we're going to need for that, and then kind of move back into video and special project photos. And then we go into Friday, and Friday is making sure that everything got done. Again, checking my monday.com board and making sure that everything on there has either a very good reason for not being accomplished or making sure that it gets accomplished. And then kind of just prepping for the weekend, making sure that we have enough video content to go live over the weekends, we have enough footage to go live, we have all of our marketing photos that we'll need to go live over the weekend as well. So that's kind of the basic work week for me. It kind of flows pretty consistently through that every week. So yeah, what this is a little weird because normally I'm like behind the camera asking these questions, so I'm kind of like trying to figure out, okay, what would I ask myself right now? And the question that like comes to mind that I would ask myself right now is, how did I get to the position I'm in right now? Did I just kind of start here? What did I do before I was content creator and assistant marketing person, if you will? So before I was working with the photos and videos and the marketing side of things, I was working in our sweet shop where we made all of our sweets, all of our candies, and worked with the whole food aspect of the business. Due to COVID, all of that got shut down. But even before COVID, I was beginning to transition out of that just because we become much more efficient in there, and although I pioneered a lot of it, I wasn't needed in there anymore. We found systems for everything, and I struggle working with day in, day out repetitive jobs. So I was beginning to transition out of there to something a little bit more exciting, in my opinion, and something that was a little bit more, there were more various things to do, just a lot of more options and a lot of different things that we were doing on a day-to-day basis in the current job I have, as opposed to working in the sweet shop. So started moving out of that, and that's kind of when I started moving into the photos, mainly because we didn't have anyone that could do it, and we clearly needed to step up our game. So started doing a lot of reading on it, watching seminars and things on it, and kind of improving myself to be able to better do the job and the role that I was moving into. But before the sweet shop, I worked pretty heavily in the barns, but that was a very long time ago. I haven't worked exclusively in the barns for probably 6 years. So I still do work with the barn crew pretty closely. My office is actually in the barn. It is upstairs in the barn, and I work in the office with Indigo at that computer right there. Graydon and Sam are over at those computers, and then Ashton is right next to me at this computer, and then this is my computer. So we work up here in the barn office, and I also assist with deliveries when we have them. During kidding season in February, I'm pretty extensively involved. I also work with decisions, some basic decisions for goats, like who we're selling, which kids we're keeping, as well as planning the breeding season for the goats, because I know the pedigrees and the genetics pretty well, and so having additional eyes on that is extremely helpful. So I'm the one who typically puts together the first draft of that, and then we'll move it into a barn meeting where we'll discuss what needs to change, why we think some does need to be bred with different bucks, and work with that. So that used to be pretty much my whole job, and then we moved it as I became more involved with the sweet shop and then with the marketing. I don't do as much of that now, but I still do work pretty closely with the barn crew anytime I can. I definitely enjoy getting to work with the goats and getting to work on things like that. So plus, it adds a little spice to the day-to-day tradition, or not traditions, what's the word I'm looking for? Just the evenness of what I do typically. So I definitely enjoy jumping in and helping other people when I have the options. So yeah, that would be kind of how I got to where I am now. So again, I'm in this awkward position where I'm going to ask myself another question, but the question I'm going to ask now is who I work with, and if I have any rough spots working with them. And so I'll answer that by saying I work pretty closely with Indigo. She's definitely the person I work most closely with, and it's interesting. It's an interesting dynamic between the two of us, because I am very, very un-tech savvy. Embarrassingly enough, I had trouble finding the number lock on my keyboard the other day, and I was like, Indigo, why is my keyboard not working, but just the numbers? And she was like, did you hit the number lock button? And I was like, oh. And then she had to show me where it was because I couldn't find it. So just to kind of give you a small glimpse of how terribly untech savvy I can be, not that that was even techie, but like when it comes to computers, I literally know nothing. And so I can definitely get on her nerves sometimes when I ask her some really basic questions about how a computer works. And she's like, how on earth do you not know these things? So neither of us are particularly great at staying calm when something upsets us. And so we both know that when one of us is upset, it's most likely not at the other person. It's most likely at something else, and we're kind of just taking it out on each other. But we are both really good at apologizing, which is good because we can kind of snap at each other more than I'd like to admit. So, but I mean, we work literally, that's her desk right there. Oops. That's her desk right there. And this is my desk right here. So we're literally right next to each other for extensive periods of time. And as siblings, we can snap sometimes. So that's probably who I work with most closely. I also work pretty closely with Ashton and Graydon, who are Ashton and Graydon are both barn managers. Graydon works more with the fixing and grounds and maintenance side of things, while Ashton works more with the animals themselves. So work pretty closely with them, helping and making sure that working mostly with like data for the goats, I would say, with both of them. So work with them, and then I work pretty closely with Mom as well, who I make sure that I get her a lot of photos and things, and I also just work on the basic website things with her and keeping things updated. And so right now I'm working pretty closely with her to make sure that all of the goat pages that are for sale for all of these goats that are being sold, all the babies that were just born, making sure that all of that stays updated, working with the customers who are reaching out to her to make sure I can get photos, make sure I can keep them updated and answer any questions that they have for selling the Nigerian dwarf babies. So those are kind of the people that I work closest with. I also have a room in the soap room where I take a lot of our product shots, and so when I go up there, I work with Erin and Coulter, who are in the soap room, kind of as the management team up there, making sure that I can steal people when I need hands to photograph, or when I need people in my photos. I'll typically go up there, talk with Coulter or Erin, and make sure I can take one of those guys or girls to take a photo shoot of. So work with them occasionally as well. All right, the next question I will ask myself, I keep cracking myself up just thinking about how this must sound on the other end of the camera. But the next question I'll ask myself is, what is my least favorite thing about my job right now? And the answer to that is pretty simple, and doesn't have, it's not a very long answer, but just the day-to-day basics of it. I'm really not a fan of when you repetitively do something over and over and over again. I do certainly appreciate that the job I currently have has very little of it. It's a very diverse job, at least in a more specific sense. I mean, on a broad sense, I take photos. So kind of the same thing every day. But when you're looking at the content, there are so many different things that I get to take photos of, take videos of, and none of it's really ever the same. So I don't have to worry about that too much. Some of the things that like do get me a little bit are when I have to do larger projects, like taking I don't know, say all of the goats' photos. So right now I'm taking photos of all of the goats, and it's a little bit, I don't know, just not that interesting to me, because I don't really get to work too artistically to create a very unique photo for that. We're looking for a very generic photo of them so that you can see, we don't want it to be too, we don't want to distract from the fact that it's a goat. And so just kind of making sure that we're getting a good visual of what the goat actually looks like, and not necessarily trying to get her in a unnatural light, maybe, is a good way to say it. I can take a goat and I can put them in, this perfect green pasture that the goats haven't been on, so they haven't eaten any of the grass, like different things like that. And the photo looks much cuter, but it's not necessarily an accurate representation. And when we're typically selling goats, we like to make sure that we have an accurate depiction of what is actually going on. So, yeah, so that's kind of like one of the things that's just like, meh, I could live without that. But honestly, I love my job. My job is pretty awesome. I love the fact that it's super diverse and I don't have to do the same thing day in, day out. All right, now that I answered that question, I'll ask myself another question, and it won't be awkward at all, right? Actually, we'll do a little bit of it. I'll show you some things. So this is Benjamin. He is the office cat right now. And then I also work, a lot of times we have a dog up here, or two dogs. Kara and Castle are typically the ones that come up here. Kara is my dog. She comes to work with me every day, and will a lot of times spend the day up here in the office with me. She loves laying on the floor right there, as well as under the desk. She loves this spot right down here. So she spends the day up here a lot. And then Castle is our male, and he spends a lot of time up here with Ashton. So those are kind of the dogs that we have around the property typically. So the other thing that happens up here a lot is we get we'll get up to 5 people up here, and it can get rather loud. And so I like to put in earbuds and just listen to music, and I do that quite a bit, or I'll just play music. So up here we have in the office Ashton's desk there, my desk there, Indigo's desk here, Benjamin's litter or cage where he spends the night so that he doesn't get into stuff. And then we have a sink and cabinets and a little fridge, and these are some plants and that Ashton and I have because we like greenery. And then Sam and Graydon's computers as well. So this is where I worked, and then out here is kind of where it actually is. So this is the hayloft, and then down here is the rest of the barn. And here's Castle and Ashton. So I'll show you all of the goats that we've been taking photos of and we just had deliver. So these are all of the Nigerian dwarves. So later today I actually have to get photos of a few more. I got a bunch of them done yesterday, but Izzy, the black goat with the little white stripe on her side eating hay out of the manger, I need to get her photo with her 2 kids, Icicle and Iceberg. And I need to get that uploaded to the website. And then Soprano here, this black and and she has a little bit of white on her, Doe, she needs to get her photo with her 2 daughters, Cherish and Chorus, and then I need to get individual photos of her 2 daughters, Cherish and Chorus as well. And then I'll be getting those over to, or I'll upload those directly to the website, and then send Mom an email saying that she can send out her emails to the people who are interested in Soprano and her kids, notifying them that their photos are up on the website. So I have to get hers, and then there's one more. Oh, Integrity's daughter. Where's Integrity? That's Kira. No, I have to get Kira's as well. Kira's a little black doeling under her beard. You can't really see very well, but I need to get her photo as well uploaded because I missed her somehow. So those are kind of some of the things that I have to get done later today. But yeah, that's kind of all I had for you guys. So I just wanted to say thank you guys for watching the video. If you guys have any questions or comments, make sure to ask us, and we will see if we can get back to you on them. I hope you guys have a great day, and we'll see you in future videos. Bye.
Work hard. Get dirty. Use good soap. GoatMilkStuff.com